You're listening to hashtag No Filter with Zack Peter. That's me, your naturally platinum blonde pop culture connoisseur. I'm the reality TV junkie, self-improvement addict, and host with only the hottest tea spilled fresh all week long.
You're one of my favorite interviewers.
They picked us because we're horny.
Yeah,
right.
And that's your chronic state.
24/7.
Zach, that is really funny.
From the latest news on the Real Housewives, deep dives into celebrity legal scandals, and unfiltered convos with your favorite stars, I've got you covered. And yes, I always keep receipts. Welcome on in, everybody. Okay, we've got a jam-packed but bite-sized episode of the podcast today. I'm going to catch you up on everything that happened over the weekend in reality TV land and possibly maybe some of my personal life. I don't know. Maybe we'll get into that. But first, we'll talk about Kyle. We'll talk about Tom and Ariana and Vanderpump and the new season. We'll get into all of it because there are lots of updates, but I first wanted to address the Heather McDonald thing, okay? Because she reached out to me over the weekend, and she's like, wait, do we have beef? And I was like, I'm a vegetarian, and I ain't fucking scared of him, which is, sorry, that's a joke and a nod to an old 303 song called Don't Trust Me, if you're familiar with it, shout out. But so she did reach out and she's like, yo, what's going on? I hear that we have like some beef. Like people are telling me you're upset with me about something. She's like, did I do something? And I was like, did you do something? I don't know. Somebody said that like you shaded me on an Instagram live. And she's like, what? I don't even do Instagram live. She's like, I absolutely would not shade you. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, then it was just one big misunderstanding. It was someone trying to stir up some drama and stir up some shit. And they did. Because last week I was like, guys, if you have the clip, I always like to see the clips to get the context myself. But nobody had a clip to share because we couldn't find the clip. And then Heather's like, I don't even do Instagram lives. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, then beef squash. There's no beef. There's no beef with me and Heather McDonald. Love Heather. Nothing but respect for her. Shout out to the Juicy Scoopers. All is good in the neighborhood. So we can wrap that beef up, tie it up with a nice little bow, and send it out in the mail because it's done. Or it never was a thing. So yeah, there's no beef with Heather McDonald. Shout out to Heather. Okay, should we dive into Beverly Hills and Kyle Richards? Because Evan Real, my boy Evan Real, at Page 6 just announced that cameras are up again for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills because they're catching all of this aftermath with Kyle and Mauricio. So it's going to be interesting. I feel like this is kind of standard. I feel like people think this is more of a big deal than it actually is because of all the Sandoval stuff. But like the Sandoval stuff was so rare. Like they normally don't pick a production for like another 2 weeks and film a whole other episode after the season's been wrapped. But here we are, back at it, filming Kyle and Mauricio, trying to do their thing, which cool. I'm excited. I can't wait to see the season play out. I hope that this doesn't I don't think it will delay when they release the season, right? I feel like they'll continue to keep the regular track, which I like better because it's like so many things happen in between when production wraps and when the season's supposed to air. And then it feels like there's so much time that's gone by and we're looking at things through like social media and through the press. And so, you know, I want it now. I want it yesterday. It's not as good as Vanderpump because Vanderpump was already airing at the time. And that was great because like we got it in a shorter window. Now we're going to have to wait a bit until we see this play out on Beverly Hills, the new footage. So we'll see. But Kyle Richards is also denying that her and Morgan Wade are a thing. So she's shutting down these rumors. Page 6 apparently published some photos of Kyle and Morgan, claiming that they were from last Friday, which is when a paparazzi caught up with them and was asking Kyle questions about her relationship with Morgan. And they're like, oh my God, Kyle's covering her face. Well, you know, she's out with Morgan. And then Kyle came out and she's like, first of all, these photos are actually from April, and Morgan isn't even in Los Angeles right now. She's out of town performing because she's a country music rock star. So, like, she's busy. And so, yeah. So the photos were not recent photos. But shout out to Evan Real at Page 6 for saving Page 6 with the exclusive on the cameras being up again. But, yeah, she's claiming that Morgan is just a friend. And you say we're just a friend. Na, 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 na. And she's denying that they're together, but she's also denying that she's single but I guess separated, like you're not officially off the market I don't know. It's kind of weird, right? But they're separated. But they're not divorcing yet or haven't divorced yet, but are still apparently living under the same roof. All very strange. But she also addressed the matching tattoos, right? The heart tattoos that she has and Morgan has. And she's like, listen, friends can have matching tattoos, which I agree with. And she seemed to kind of allude to like her and Teddy also have matching tattoos, which, listen, friends can have matching tattoos. I think like that's a thing. I find it a little strange and I find it a little soon, but they've got the matching tattoos and they're doing their thing, right? I don't know what the status of their relationship is, but Morgan's ex, Katie Cannon, she's coming out and she talked to Page Six. Page Six with the exclusive tea this week. So she's talking to Page Six, or spoke to Page Six, and she was actually on Temptation Island, if anyone's a Temptation Island fan. But she says that Morgan got the K tattoo after they broke up, which was in August of last year, August 2022. So she's like, I don't know what the situation is with the K tattoo. That happened after me. So I don't know if it's in relation to Kyle or what it means or any of that stuff. But she says that Kyle and Morgan's relationship is between Kyle and Morgan. And if and when they want to announce or share or deny anything, like when they are ready to talk about it, they'll talk about it. I don't get why they haven't just like released a statement and been like, listen guys, we're just friends, or gone on an Instagram together and been like, we're just friends. Like, I don't get why we have to leave it so like, you know, ambiguous and like uncertain and unclear of what the status of their situation actually is. But anyway, Katie says that, but it's interesting the timeline of it, because she says that they broke up in August of last year, which is also around the same time it seems like Kyle and Mauricio started to have some separation, possibly when they split as well. So I mean, that could also be part of Kyle's bonding with Morgan: sobriety, breakups, you know, we need somebody to talk to, I need somebody to lean on. All of that's within the realm of possibility. You know, I think the speculation is salacious and fun, but I don't know how real or in-depth any of that actually is. But as of right now, Kyle is denying that they are dating. She's denying that they're in a relationship. Katie says she doesn't know what the status of their relationship is. I don't even think Katie's had an opportunity to meet Kyle. It sounds like Katie and Morgan aren't really speaking anymore. So tis what it is. But Katie's like, listen, whatever's going on with them is for them to tell the world, not for any of us to speculate. And I'm like, you know what? You go, girl. Thank you, Katie. Thank you for that breaking news. But yeah, they're filming again. We'll see what happens. I'm ready for it. Let's go. Speaking of filming again, though, Tom Sandoval has officially returned to film for the new season of Vanderpump Rules. He is back. He was filming that Special Forces show. What is it on? Is it on Fox? I think it's on Fox. It's that Special Forces show where they take a bunch of celebrities and they put them in like this crazy intense boot camp training to see who's like the most resilient and who can, you know, last and survive and do all of the trainings. So Sandy Balls did that. Now he was back in West Hollywood, spotted filming with Lisa Vanderpump and filming with Tom Schwartzy. He delivered Lisa some flowers since he missed the closing of Pump, because all of the cast was there filming for Pump. So that seems to be his like, sorry Lisa, I was filming a television show, but here's some flowers to make you feel better. And Lisa's like, my God, Tom, I love you, but like, you need to get it together, you knucklehead. We'll see what that brings. You know Lisa's going to defend Tom. She always defends Tom. But like, they're like her children at this point. It's Vanderpump Rules, and she just likes when they break all the rules because it makes good ratings. But Tom Sandoval and Tom Schwartz, they had a heated discussion, and that didn't look like it went too well. That looked like it was pretty intense and pretty heated. But then it was weird because then it was like they were trying to film, and then I think it was on social media. There was like a girl there that was like yelling while they were trying to film their scenes. And I'm like, what a fucking loser. Like, who, like, if you're going to go to the restaurant and watch them film the show, like, the whole point is to like see the front row of like inside, like, ooh, I get to watch this and maybe film a little thing or take a little picture or something. But like when you insert yourself and you interrupt a scene, like, what a loser. Like, who does that? Like, go and enjoy it, but, like, don't get drunk and then you're going to yell at Tom Sandoval as if he gives a shit who you are. Like, you just make yourself look dumb. Yeah, and then you become that drunken, belligerent girl that, like, ruined a scene on Vanderpump Rules that all the producers hate because they're trying to film a show and you're interrupting them. So annoying. It's also annoying because I guess I see it happen here in downtown a lot where, like, they'll film movies or they'll film stuff. And even if they film, like, I'm in downtown, so they film, like, on the streets and stuff. And so sometimes you have to, like, walk around them. Same thing with like New York, right? When you're in that city and they're filming there, they usually film a lot of stuff here in LA that they model as New York. So like we have fake taxi cabs and fake hot dog trucks out here all the time. But it's always so dumb when like clearly you can walk around the set. You can walk not directly into the shot. You can like do so many other things to like avoid being in the shot. And some people love to still like walk right through it and be like, oh, what's going on? Oh, our camera's on me. Like, oh, it's so annoying because people are dumb or they act dumb. Sorry, that was a tangent. But anyway, Vanderpump Rules is back into filming. Tom don't look like they're in a great place. Things seem to be a little shaky. It seemed to be that they were fighting about Greg, who's their business partner. So maybe it has to do with Jax coming back into the mix and Jax trying to buy out Greg, the business partner, or try to buy out Sandoval's share of Schwartz and Sandy's. So we'll see what happens with that and where we go from there. But I want to see Jax back, and I want to see Jax put Tom in his place. And then Raquel, Rocky Bang Bang, is still not finalized with her contract because she wants more money, but I feel like the longer she waits, the less interested we're going to be in seeing her back. If anything, all we want is a status update, and we can kind of get that from Tom. We don't really need that from her. And then I really just want to see her and Sheena hash it out, but I don't think she's going to bring any. I don't think Raquel deserves a pay raise because I don't think she'll bring anything interesting to this new season. She's not a reality TV villain, you guys. She's literally so dense and so dumb and just like, what is she going to bring? She's coming out of this rehab, this mental health facility. That doesn't mean she's going to come and wreck shit up. That means she's going to come all kumbaya namaste and like, I'm so sorry. Like, that's not interesting. I don't care. I don't care. I don't need to see her be namaste. I need to see her be a hot mess. And if she's not going to be a mess, I don't want it. Thank you. Next. Swipe left. Give us one scene with Tom. Give us one scene with Sheena and keep the train going. But bring it on. Vanderpump Rules season 11. Let's get it. Ariana Madix is joining Dancing with the Stars. Good for her. She did a whole thing with Derek Huff where he came and he's like, ooh, hey, girl, I want to buy a sandwich. And she's like, ooh, you want to buy my sandwich? I got a cha-cha sandwich. And he was like, yeah, I want to buy your cha-cha sandwich. And then they're like, ta-da, we're going to be on Dancing with the Stars. And she's like, yay. So she's going to be on Dancing with the Stars. Her and Derek Huff announced it like in a TikTok video at something about her. Smart of Dancing with the Stars to capitalize off of the Sandoval scandal. Good for Ariana. She's living her best life. Good for her. Get all you ever wanted. They're all doing well. Like, I don't feel bad for any of them anymore. Not even Tom Sandoval's, not Rocky Bang Bang. They're all good. They're all going to be so fine after this. They're all going to make a ton of money, and then the hype will die down, but they'll have so much money to sit on. Okay? We have a Britney update. So the video has now come out that showed the altercation that happened at Catch in Vegas, right? Britney saw this young basketball player and she's like, oh my God, I know him, Victor. I know you. I'm a fan. And she's like, let me go up. And the reports say that she wanted to take a picture with him. She said, I just wanted to like tell him how great of a basketball player he is and tell him what a fan I am. She claimed to have gone up and fans claimed she went up and just tapped him on the shoulder. And then they made it seem like security came and like punched her in the face. And like, it was this big thing. And she like flew across the room. And her glasses flew across the room and she was on the ground, knocked out. I'm making it more dramatic, hyperbole, guys. But they made it seem more dramatic than it actually is because now footage has come out and it's like, oh, it's not really as dramatic as everybody was making this out to be, right? She walked right up to him. And like, here's the thing. A lot of times when you're security, some people do feel like they're entitled to just walk right up to you and like want to have a conversation with you or want to touch you or want to take a photo with you. It's a sense of entitlement, right? In this case, it is Britney Spears, so I think she does have a little bit of that entitlement. Like, I'm Britney Spears, I can do what I want. And I also don't think she meant any harm, right? Like, she really thought, like, let me just walk up to him and it'll be fine, right? But she does come up from behind, so the security guard doesn't really see who it is. And he kind of just like swats her hand away. And yeah, the hand like hits herself in the face. And like anytime there's any sort of impact and it hits your face, like it does feel bigger than it actually is, right? I don't love the basketball player and the security guard. I don't love their response to Britney because Britney was like, I didn't have a great experience like this. Like, I was hit in the face. And yes, she technically was hit in the face. And when you get hit in the face, it feels a lot more jarring than I'm sure it actually is because it is your face, right? But I didn't love that they like tried to downplay it. And he was like, she tried to jump me, or what did he say? She grabbed me from behind. Okay, a little tap on the shoulder and grabbed me from behind. Big difference, right? Big difference. So I'm kind of over this story. It's not actually that big. It's not actually that traumatic. I can see why there are no charges that are being pressed. Because at this point, it's like, okay, let's keep it moving on, right? Give me more. No, thank you. Give me more music. And I hear she's working with will.i.am. I saw that today, or that was reported today, that Britney and will.i.am are getting back in the studio and some music should be coming soon. So good for Britney and will.i.am. But like, we can move on from this story. Like, yes, security should be a little more sensitive. No, they shouldn't just be like, reacting in that way. Because when you kind of just like react and push a fan away, in that one, it's a little disrespectful to the fans. And I think fans are people that keep celebrities afloat, right? And two, it's just, then Britney came out and she's like, you hit me in the face. Like, that wasn't cool. Own it. Apologize for it, and let's keep it moving. Like, listen, we're so sorry that she had that experience, and like, set up a lunch for Britney and this, like, I mean, I'm sure this dude has no idea who Britney is, and he thinks she's like some old pop star. Whereas like the millennials are like, who's Cher? He's probably like, who's Britney Spears? Wasn't she locked in a basement with Justin Timberlake keeping her locked up in there and K-Fed? He probably doesn't really know who Britney Spears is because he's 19 years old. So he doesn't know, oops, I did it again. Hit me, baby, one more time. Maybe not. Maybe we don't hit her one more time. Maybe we let her walk, right? Okay. Okay, what else? There was this weird TikTok video, right, where Ariana Madix, because it came out and it was like, is Ariana Madix going to Love Island? Because she was like, she teased a hot new bombshell she posted on TikTok, but like nobody really understood what it was. I don't know if it means she is going to do. I don't think so. I don't know if it means she's going to do. Oh, maybe. Okay. Maybe it was in reference to Dancing with the Stars because she's like, a hot new bombshell enters the villa. Maybe it was in reference to Dancing with the Stars. I don't know. I thought this was kind of lame, to be honest. I didn't even see why people were reporting on it because it didn't make any sense to me. Kim Zolciak is back with Kroy. They've officially ended their divorce, which is weird because it got so mean and messy. And people like, they did this for, to get back on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I was like, well, it was more interesting when they were divorcing and going through this messy breakup. This is not interesting. Them getting back together, I'm like, that's just confusing and annoying. It's more annoying than anything. It's dumb. Like, they had drug addict accusations and gambling addiction accusations and unfit mom accusations and I'm going to sue you accusations. And some people were speculating that like maybe it was because they thought that splitting up would help with their debts that we now see are the case, and vice versa. Now they're getting back together because they realized that it was going to help with their debts, so it helps to stay together. I don't know. I think it's dumb and I think it's weird and I think they blew this way out of proportion, abused the court system, abused the 911 call. Like, it's just, the whole thing was dumb. Whether it was for publicity or not, if it was for them to get back on the show, then they screwed that up because at this point nobody's interested. I don't know. She was back on Atlanta this past week. We saw the scene that she filmed with Sheree and some of the OGs, where she made a comment about Kenya and she's like, is she still alive? And then Kenya was mad and Kenya's like, she doesn't have a job and her show got canceled and she's in a messy divorce and she's an unfit mother and all this stuff. So Kenya dragged her in the comments. I would like to see Kim come back, but I'm over this weird divorce situation that they have because to me it's all just so stupid. Dumb. Okay. I think, is that all of it? Oh, we have Crappy Lake that came out. Welcome to Crappy Lake with Sonia and Luann. Have not watched it yet, but I think I will, and we'll break it down on Tuesday night for our regular recaps. Since there aren't any like new good juicy books out, which typically happens in the summer, maybe we'll do another throwback and find a good old celebrity memoir to cover. If you have any recommendations, send it my way. Maybe we'll cover it. Maybe not. We'll see. But anyway, we'll cover Crappy Lake because I haven't watched it yet, but we'll cover it on Tuesday nights live. And yeah, I think that's really all the big juicy stuff that's happened. I don't think anything new has really come forth or been even remotely interesting. Madonna's fine. Good for her. And yeah, that's really about all of the good tea we got. I had a good weekend. I hope you guys had a good weekend too. Got to spend it with some of my boys. God, you gotta love them, right? Even when they drive you crazy. we had fun. We had a good summer rooftop vibe, spent some time with my family. My family. Let me tell you something about my family. So it's been a good summer. Hopefully you guys have been having a good summer as well. You're living life. You're getting lit. You're getting litty city and having a good old time. And let's keep the good summer vibes going. All right? You can catch me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the podcast here, No Filter with Zack Peter. Leave me a podcast review on Apple Podcasts if you've been loving the show. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that little bell. That way, you always know when there's fresh tea up in those notifications. Woo, woo. Thank you, guys. We broke 40,000 subscribers on YouTube, 60,000 followers on Instagram, 10 million views on YouTube. Like, you guys have been so great and so supportive, and I appreciate you so very much. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. You guys are thebomb.com. Keep up with me at Just Plain Zack all over the internet. Follow the podcast at No Filter with Zack for all the latest tea. And until then, I'll talk to y'all later. Later, skater. All right, guys. I love you. I appreciate you. And yeah, talk soon. Love you, mean it. Bye.